Next, we're going to do an evaluate. Okay, not write a number sentence. So here we want to come out with a value. So evaluate means try to keep simplifying until you get a value. And when we look at it, we see how we have this nesting of, so we have these outer braces, and then the square brackets, and then the parentheses. So we're going to do what's inside first. So we're going to add these together, and 3 3/5 plus 1 2/5. Well, it's 3 and 1 is 4, 3/5 and 2/5 is 5/5. So you have 4 plus 5/5, which equals 5. So okay, so then this amount here is 5. Okay, so then inside the square brackets, we have 3 times the 5 we got from the parentheses. That's going to be 15. And then what's going to come next, inside the curly braces, it's going to be the 40 divided by 15. Well, what's 40 divided by 15? Well, you can just look at it as a fraction and simplify it. And so you say, well, it's 2. That's the same as 2, right? 2 times 15 is 30, and 10/15. But that simplifies to a simpler fraction, 2 2/3. When we add that to 120, so we have 2 2/3 plus 120 equals 122 2/3. Okay, so for our third problem, we're going to evaluate. So we're going to also try and get this down to a single number, if we can. And what are we going to do? Well, we see everything is division, so we're going to go work from left to right. Okay, when the operations are of equal power, just as multiplication and division are, these are all division, we go from left to right. So if we were going to put parentheses about it, what would it look like? Well, the first set of parentheses would go around this. So we'd say 36 divided by 12 is 3. What would come next? Well, we've got this 3, so we have 3 divided by 16. You might be tempted to try and do that in decimal, but let's just write it this way. 3 divided by 16. Okay, what comes next? So then next is whatever we had there, the 3/16 divided by 2. Well, if I have 3/16 and I divide it by 2, one way to look at it is I have 3 pieces that are 16ths, and if I make them half as big, they become 30 seconds. So now I have 3 30-seconds. And that's our answer. Another way you could do it is you could say, well, division is the same as multiplication by the reciprocal, and you could see that 3/16 times 1/2 equals 3 30-seconds. Okay, so for our fourth problem, we have again write an expression. So we're going to write an expression. We're not going to solve this. We're going to write the expression. And we have divide the product by the sum. Okay, so we're going to have a product divided by a sum. We're going to put it in parentheses even though some things don't need to be in parentheses because of order of operations. So we're going to the product of 7 and 5. So 7 times 5, and we're going to divide that product by the sum of 9 and 8. Okay. So it's a little bit tricky. You have to read it carefully. So you think you're going to start with division, but you're not. You're going to divide a product, so you're going to take the product and do that first, then the division, divide it by the sum. So let's rewrite this one so you can see it more clearly. It's 3 plus 6 times 8 minus 7 plus 5 times 9. Okay, so we have to remember our order of operations. So the PEMDAS, and I like to write PEMDAS like this, so remember that multiplication and division are equally powerful, addition and subtraction are equally powerful. So what are we going to do first up here? We're going to do, it's inside the parentheses, we'll do the multiplication first. We'll get 3 plus 48, and we're going to subtract, and inside these parentheses we'll do the multiplication first, 7 plus 45. Let's do the addition. So we get 51 minus 52. Well, it's one bigger, so imagine that you had $51 in your bank account and you spent $52. What would the state of your bank account be? It would be at -1. And that's our answer, -1.